All right, I'm sitting here with Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Just want to give me a little history about yourself, where you're from, stuff like that.
I'm from South Jersey, originally born in Philly. Come from a broken home. I've been doing math since I was 14 years old.
Wow, okay.
Have an 8th grade education.
So you started early.
Yeah, I started early. Never had a curfew. When my parents got divorced, I went and moved with my dad, thinking it was going to be a good thing, but he was a womanizer, and he was never around. His mother, my grandmother, raised me as her own. 8th grade, I had to quit school to help take care of my grandfather. I've always worked since I was 14, had 3 jobs. My dad, when I grew up, I had different rules. I never had a curfew. I was the only 12, 13-year-old out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sounds like you didn't have too much of a childhood.
I was allowed to smoke weed at the dinner table if I wanted to at Grandma. But if I walked out of the house with a pair of holes in my jeans, by the time I come home from school, my dad would beat me like a man. Struggled. Finally got to the point where he bullied me all them years, and when I was about 18, I got bigger than him. He embarrassed me in front of my future wife that I was going out with, and we got in a bad fist fight. I hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were able to make amends, but about 6 months later, he had taken his life by shotgun.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
From me to you.
Yeah. Wow.
And
that was something you were there. You saw it.
Yeah. I mean, it was all over me and my 2-year-old sister.
Wow. So that's a lot of trauma you're dealing with.
Yeah, and
dealt with.
I didn't really get help for it because I grew up with a family, Italian family.
Yeah.
That's a weakness.
Sure.
You don't discuss, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I never tried to use it as a negative. I still remember this day. I was at my dad's funeral. I remember this lady behind me saying, "I feel so sorry for him because he's not going to amount to anybody." And I took that personally. Way back then, I was like, who is she to tell me that I'm not going to amount to anything? So I always tried to use it to motivate me to do the best I can, and I did. I had a 25-year marriage.
You said you had some successful businesses too?
I had an irrigation business, installing sprinkler system.
Okay.
And I had a custom painting business for the major Paparone, Cavanian, all the major, making a lot of money. But one thing I could tell you, from a person that don't come from a lot of money and all, if you come into a situation where you're making money and you don't have a plan, plan to fail.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to treat it.
You just weren't used to the money. You didn't know how to deal with
it's
it.
Like my wife used to call me Rockefeller. It wasn't that I was Rockefeller. It was just that finally I'm able to buy things and I didn't have to look at prices.
Sure.
And it just,
Yeah. So now you were saying you've been now homeless here for 11 years?
Yeah.
Okay, straight.
Approximately, yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen a lot of changes in Atlantic City over those 10 years.
Yeah, I've been through it all here. I've had a lot of friends die, murdered, heroin overdoses.
Yeah.
Just.
Now, as someone that doesn't do heroin, right? Did you notice when everything was starting to switch over to fentanyl, and I'm sure a lot of more people started dying around here that you know?
Well, they call it, I don't know if I could say this on there.
Yeah.
Kissing your dick. or whatever. That's
Oh,
what
because
when
you're nodding out so much.
Yeah, I did
We call
my-
it Kensington yoga.
Well, I did 1 year, my first rehab. I went to Passaic County to Patterson
Okay.
with the Salvation Army. It's a 7-month program.
Yeah.
I suggest anybody that, that wants to get better. I mean, it's a lot of church.
Yeah.
The first 3-4 weeks when I went there, I thought I made a mistake. Everybody's happy. I said, "What are they drinking in the water?"
Yeah.
And there was one, and I didn't really believe in. I had no relationship with God because of what my father did, and the priest told me that my father would never go to heaven because he killed himself. He'd be in purgatory. But
it's a tough thing to swallow if you're a religious
as I got older,
yeah.
I talked to other priests, and they were like, if he has to be forgiven before he did it, he will be forgiven.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's between, I guess, your dad and his God, what he did. No one really knows,
But when I went into this rehab thing, I was just about to leave it. And I don't know, I had a buddy that I was running the streets with out here. And they used to call us Swirl. He's black, I'm white. And we had a good relationship. We had both integrity, honest guys.
Sure.
He never talked about the program. I just decided one day I need to get off the street, not for any reason, just because I'm getting old.
Absolutely.
And I'm just tired of being tired and hurting. So I went to Volunteers of America. They gave me $80 for a bus ticket, and then I was off to Patterson.
Okay.
After about a month, they do a blackout, 30-day blackout.
Yeah.
Just getting off the blackout, I get my first trip out to the store, I'm coming back. There's my buddy I was running the streets with in AC, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I'm always trying to think of what's the reason why connections are made.
Yeah.
And now I feel the purpose, because we never talked about this, and he had already graduated from this program a couple years prior.
Yeah.
And now God put us together again.
Sure.
So at that point right there, I went up, I took a shower, and I said to myself, I'm going to just stop the way that I normally think.
Sure.
And I'm just going to try to go along with the program. Whether I feel it's right or not,
Sure.
I'm going to.
So did you get some clean time out of that program? How long?
Oh yeah, I had no problem getting clean.
Yeah. You said you were saying off there, you're like more of a social user with.
Yeah, I mean, I could do with it or without it. My thing was always hustle and money. When I was working my jobs and all, I worked 120, 140 hours. I was a workaholic. I didn't take no vacations.
That helps that out a lot.
My high was making money, and then I got in the game. I explained to you that after 25 years, came home. My wife got pregnant out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Pretty much put me,
So that was like the final straw.
I kind of lost my mind
Yeah.
with that, and then I started getting health problems. Had a couple strokes and all.
Okay.
And started drinking, which I had quit 20 years prior.
Sure.
Got 2 DUIs in 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Ended up moving down here because I figured maybe I could work and make money.
Sure.
And I've been here ever since.
Damn. Now we were talking a little bit. I want you to kind of explain how it got crazy here during COVID, right?
Yeah. Very eerie.
Yeah. They were giving you guys were getting a lot of money at the time.
Yeah.
And they were, you said a lot of the homeless addicts were spending it all in the casinos.
Yeah. A lot of they were spending well below them instead of saving and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
During them casinos, and that check might last one night.
Yeah. And then you were saying that as soon as they were done with spending the money, the casinos would kick you guys right out, right?
Oh yeah. You were lucky, but the couple months that the casinos were shut down.
Yeah. How eerie was that?
It was like it was like an apocalypse.
Yeah. And because I mean that so many people make money.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
around the casinos.
Drug dealers,
Yeah.
poker, the call girls,
Yeah.
all that, it affects everybody.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and it trickles down. So now you got everybody robbing each other.
Yeah. And then even the people aren't coming down here, so even the homeless people can't ask for change. Even
Yeah,
that's
you can't pan. There's just no money circulating.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody just
So that was a dark couple months, huh?
yeah, it was.
Or
Yeah,
about
I
a
never
year?
experienced nothing like that in my life.
Yeah. Now, is it? I don't want to say back to normal, but things are back up and going kind of here.
Things are better. I mean, but it's just sad to see.
Yeah.
Just like there's so much potential out here. Just like I see homeless. There's a violin player, a young kid. He's homeless.
Oh man.
The guy is unbelievable.
Talented too, huh?
And very talented, and he makes a ton of money just doing the violin with that.
Yeah.
But it just kills me that nobody wants to give a second break.
Life's hard, man, and it's very unforgiving out here.
You know, I suggested I wanted to get a proposal with the to go to the which is the mayor or whoever I got to go to,
city council or whatever.
City council to pass rehab while you're rehabbing yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe a dilapidated
House.
building.
Yeah, man, we talk about that in Philly all the time. There's
and
so many.
If we could do something like that, then you test clean to
Yeah.
stay there,
Yeah,
and at least it gives you something to work towards.
Yeah.
You have a home then.
Yep.
But a lot
A home that you're working on, so you're gonna take
that
care
you're proud
of
of,
it.
and
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
that it gives you self-worth.
We talk about that in Philly a lot. A
Yeah.
couple of the guys like, why can't? And I was just in Baltimore last weekend, and there's something like 15,000 abandoned houses down there right now. It's like,
a lot of it though is corporations own them.
yep.
And
then who's going to pay for the rehab stuff? The government. All our money goes over to the war.
They'd rather just sit there because the property value is worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you tried to get housing?
I've been trying to get out.
Yeah. Is it?
I've been through Jewish Family Services.
Now, what's the problem? Is it you
fall
not
through the
following through, or is it you just
It's
fall
a little
through the
bit of
cracks?
both. It's frustration after being in the system so many times and just being rejected.
Yeah.
I've been in. They have lotteries where you can get picked.
Yeah.
Um,
Now with this, I just got you the tent. We went and got the tent out of my car.
Yeah.
Is that going to get confiscated real quick, or will you be able to hold on to it for a little bit?
Well, it depends. Usually we have to keep one person
At the
around.
tent?
If
Yeah.
not, people. There's nothing worse than we hate is another homeless person robbing another homeless person.
Yeah.
We take that real personal out
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah. Well, you've been here 11 straight years,
Yeah.
right? So you're like an OG here.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
OG, yeah. So you've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess the people kind of know you here from being around.
There's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of people walking with guns on this boardwalk.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask you. You're saying it's starting to get a lot more dangerous around here, right? And you say you think the casinos are kind of keeping those stats down so it doesn't look bad for them?
Absolutely. They don't want the bad publicity. It's not like Vegas where they're making it a family town and there's a lot for people to do.
Yeah.
Here,
It's
since
just
the casinos
casinos.
Opened up,
Yeah.
they've had so many mayors or council or whatever that have been stealing from Atlantic City.
Yeah.
That the money never goes where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And they never built it up. There was never another plan. Once you get to the boardwalk, it's like, who wants to come into town and ride through the projects through Section 8 and risk getting robbed there if you got to stop at a stop sign?
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? And then they're trying to do a little bit. They built a water park down there. It did,
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is only my second time here in a long time. I used to come down here a lot when I'm getting high.
I mean, I love it. I've been down here all my life, up and down the coast.
Yeah.
But, sometimes I'm ashamed of the way that people carry themselves down here.
Yeah. Yeah, man, life's hard though. I try not to be too hard on people. It's
Yeah.
and once you're homeless, it can be so hard to get unhomeless, to get off the streets. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like you have so many hurdles to get over, and
Absolutely.
it gets frustrating. And I was able to do it just because I had so much support. My
Right.
parents got money. You know what I mean?
Now, see, I
Do you have sober support or any
haven't
positive?
seen my son in 12 years.
Yeah.
I got one son, he'll be 25 on the 29th.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Love him more than anything. I can't wait for the day that hopefully I can be back in his life.
I hope you can, you know, get your life straightened out. I mean, get off the
Trying.
streets. It's hard.
Trying. And
Yeah.
I'm in love with this girl over here, and I
Yeah.
wish you would just straighten it out with you.
Yeah.
Get rid of the other guy, and
That's another thing. Like I just interviewed the girl you're dating. And
Right.
You don't do dope,
no.
and she does.
Yeah.
And that's got to be another added stress level on top of it.
It's like I
She's
said.
married to that before anything else.
Yeah, and I thought, I've been through everything. I can handle it.
This is
I've
the
been-
first one, first heroin addict. Yeah.
it's-
Learning experience.
And it's the first girl that I've had a serious relationship with since my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put that wall up, and
Sure.
and I tried to explain to her that, look, I just want to let you know I accept you for all your bad habits, for everything. All I ask out of you is honesty, and
Those are hard
and,
things to
and
ask.
yeah,
for
I
a
didn't
heroin
think it
addict.
would. I didn't think that was going to be so hard.
Yeah. I'm
Because
just speaking out of experience.
They lie so bad. It's
Yeah.
just like, and I'm just being honest. I
Yeah.
mean, they lie when they don't have to lie, and it just
Absolutely,
it
man.
befuddles me.
I was a pathological liar in my addiction.
Yeah,
And
it's just-
you're right. There was no reason for a lot of the stuff.
And then
I
you
lied
got
about.
me that I don't care what the situation is. If I have something to tell you, I'm going to look you right in the eye like a man and
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
And they all know it. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm pretty much got the most honest guy out here,
Yeah.
to a fault
Sure.
sometimes.
Yeah. I get that. All right. Well, listen. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be here all
appreciate
weekend,
it.
so maybe I'll run into you again.
I'm sure we're right
You're
in
always
this
down
area
there.
every day.
Awesome. All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
All right.